It is official, and here's the proof. The 2016 presidential election has made its way here to Utah. 4 of the 5 candidates here this weekend. 3 of them stumping in the Beehive State today alone. We do have team coverage for you tonight, and we start with news specialist NICOLE VOWELL. She's in downtown Salt Lake, where the Dump Trump protesters are expected to fill Washington Square Park. NICOLE?
Yeah, that's right. Not much of action going on right now, but as soon as protesters found out Donald Trump was coming to Salt Lake City, they hastily planned their rallies. One group from the University of Utah, Students for a Democratic Society, is expected to gather here and assemble here. They're supposed to get here within the next hour or so, but also another group, about 2,000 Latino Americans from Utah, have committed on Facebook. They are already on their way to Liberty Park right now for their anti-Trump rally protest that they have planned. But on top of that, there's also a Trump supporters rally. They are expected to disrupt some of these anti-Trump rallies that are going to be going on tonight downtown. So we're going to be following all of this as soon as it gets kicked off. Of course, we know historically we've seen the track record at Trump rallies. We've seen them be pretty active, sometimes violent. Of course, police and security on standby, hoping everything goes peacefully tonight. Of course, we all are. But we'll come back here live at 6 for a live picture as soon as things really get kicked off here in Washington Square. But for now, live at 5, I'm NICOLE VOWELL reporting. We'll send it back to you guys.
All right, NICOLE, thank you. And as you just mentioned, there are plenty of Trump supporters here in Utah as well. News specialist Andrew Adams joined us from downtown Salt Lake, where Trump will take the stage in just a couple of hours. Andrew?
Yeah, Mike, doors are supposed to open here at the Infinity Center at 5 o'clock. Haven't seen any Trump supporters make their way in here yet. As you can see, it's a smaller venue. Guaranteed Donald Trump has talked to larger crowds across the country, but still a lot of people excited to come in here and listen to his message. Some people lined up as early as 10:30 in the morning. You'll hear from some of those people next hour. We'll keep you up to date, but for now, let's head over to Ashley Moser, who is at the airport waiting for Trump's arrival. Ashley?
Andrew, the waiting game continues here at the Salt Lake International Airport. We've been here for just a couple of hours, a couple spectators coming out here. This is where Mr. Trump is expected to land. We're at the Millionaire side of the airport, and we've been checking a couple of employees coming out from the gate. We've asked them, do you have any information on when Mr. Trump is expected to arrive? Of course, they're being very tight-lipped. We do know from a source that he's expected to arrive between 5:30 and 6 for his event starting at 7 tonight. Also, this is a Boeing 757, hard to miss. It has Trump in gold letters on the side, a 4-foot-tall T on its tail, and it fits about 43 passengers. So we'll be looking out for this plane, and of course we'll let you know as soon as we see it right here at the Salt Lake International Airport. Reporting live, Ashley Moser, KSL 5 News. Back to you.
All right, Ashley, thank you much. And you know what? With the protests, rallies, and candidates on the move right now, it is a busy day out there on the roads. News specialist Jed Bull joins us live now from Chopper 5 with more from the sky. Jed?
Yeah, it is a busy day out here, Mike, no doubt about it. We're hovering over the Bernie Sanders rally. Bernie actually just wrapped up right now. As you look at that shot, you can see that he has just left the podium and had glad-handed a little bit on the fence line and was moving for his vehicle. I can't tell. Actually, it looks like he still is working the crowd right now, talking to some of his supporters there. We estimate there were about 2,000 supporters from what we could tell from up here in the sky at that rally. The good news for all of those folks is they start to head out towards Immigration Road, and they head towards Foothill Boulevard. They'll discover that out there traffic is pretty normal for this hour right now, but that is a large crowd of folks that's going to be headed onto Foothill Boulevard and then headed for the interstates pretty quickly. Not too far from here on the college campus, on the University of Utah campus in the Fort Douglas area, John Kasich at the same time has been holding a town hall meeting. That's with about 300 supporters, so a different style event and also certainly a different number of people. But if you're on Foothill now, you probably want to get off of Foothill because there's going to be a big crowd there in about 5 or 10 minutes as all of these people start to head to the interstate. And we'll check back in with you a little bit later in the newscast, give you a feel for what the traffic might be like downtown as well. Mike?
Yeah, looks like they're scattering right now, so get out of there. All right, thanks much, Jed. GOP candidate John Kasich campaigning pretty big in Utah today. News specialist Mike Anderson is at Davis High. That's where Kasich's 3rd rally of the day is scheduled to start in less than an hour. But first, we start with political specialist Lad Egan. Lad?
Hey, we are here at the University of Utah where John Kasich just wrapped up a town hall meeting. I'll step out of the way and let you see a big crowd here. It just finished. They're just heading on out. The Ohio governor telling the crowd he's aware of the LDS Church's welfare square and bishop storehouses as he talks about reforming the welfare system across America, saying we need a welfare system that rewards work. He's also touting his big win in Ohio, saying that for a Republican to win in November, they need to win Ohio. Also earlier today, we were down at Utah Valley University, where the governor spoke to a large crowd there, talking a lot about November. This is what he had to say.
I'm the only candidate that can beat Hillary Clinton in the fall. The other people can't. Number one. Okay? It's a fact. It's a fact. I hate to tell you, but it's a fact.
So a big reaction as he's saying he's the only guy that can beat Hillary, but many saying he simply does not have the delegate math to get to that magic number of 1,237 delegates. Former Utah Governor Mike Leavitt opening for Mr. Kasich and saying that no GOP candidate will get to that number and that Kasich has the best chance in a contested convention. Back to you there in the studio.
All right, Ladd Egan live for us tonight up at the U. Now, John Kasich is preparing for a third town hall meeting, as we mentioned. This one getting underway in probably about an hour or so. That's where we find Northern Utah specialist Mike Anderson. Mike?
Yeah, Mike, you know, as you heard there, the other rally just getting over, and so we're told that Kasich is running up to an hour late here, but people are already getting seated here in the Commons area of Davis High School, and a lot of students excited for the opportunity. We're told that hundreds of RSVP'd, and as you look around, you can see it's also happens to be student time for student elections here, student body, and we're told that some of the Kasich campaign is going to be putting up some homemade signs alongside those student signs, so that's something that'll be coming up here as well. Also, a few students got some very special VIP seating tonight for this event. We got to talk to a couple of them earlier.
This is awesome. My home state gets to play an important role in the whole next 4 years of this nation.
It's amazing. I'm so excited. I think it's great that not only can everyone here in Davis County and in Kaysville especially, but kids my age, we can come and get close to politics.
Stand by. Of course, we'll be here following this as it gets underway. Could be as late as 7 o'clock. As I mentioned, we're up to an hour late here, and we'll bring you more updates as the evening goes on. Mike Anderson, live at 5.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. And look at this picture right here. It's something you saw actually a few minutes ago with Jed Bull live in Chopper 5. Bernie Sanders there wrapping up a rally in Salt Lake with more than 10,000 people in this crowd here. New special Sam Penrod was actually in the thick of it. And Sam, his supporters absolutely love him, don't they?
Yes, a very energized crowd here today, Mike. In fact, Bernie Sanders just finished up his speech a couple of minutes ago. He's still out here working the crowd right now. But we want to let you know that there were thousands of people who were here, his supporters, on a weekday afternoon to join in for this rally today. Sanders says he has won 9 states so far in these primary elections. He spoke for nearly an hour, bringing up issues of health care, student loans, legalizing marijuana, at least at the federal level, decriminalizing drugs. He says people need help for addiction, not to be thrown in jail. He also spent a lot of time talking about the economy, and that got a lot of cheers from the crowd, especially about billionaires and millionaires and the wealth of CEOs. Sanders says that low wages is causing the middle class to shrink.
Today, 58% of all new income, 58% goes to the top 1%. That's a rigged economy.
Sanders, of course, is hoping for support here in the caucuses on Tuesday night. That was his final message here to this crowd this afternoon, and we'll tell you more about his visit to Utah and why he says he came here on some bad information, that this was a Republican state, clearly enthused by all the Democrat support he had out here today.
Yeah, quite the crowd out there. Sam Penrod live for us tonight. Sam, thank you. And tomorrow, Republican presidential candidate Ted Cruz, He will be in Draper and Provo. His first stop is actually a stump for Utah Senator Mike Lee as he kicks off his re-election campaign. That starts at about 10 o'clock in the morning at the American Preparatory Academy campus in Draper. Then Cruz will head to Provo High School for a rally that starts at 2 o'clock in the afternoon with the doors opening at 1. And tonight it is official. Ted Cruz has Mitt Romney's vote. Now, Romney posted on Facebook today that, quote, there is a contest between Trumpism and Republicanism. Trumpism has become associated with racism, misogyny, bigotry, xenophobia, vulgarity, and most recently, threats and violence. I'm repulsed by each and every one of these, unquote there. Now, he goes on to say that he likes John Kasich, but a vote for Kasich in future contests makes it extremely likely that Trumpism would prevail. Well, the constant barrage of sound bites during the past few months has made it hard for voters to get an idea on just how the candidates feel about certain issues out there. Well, tonight we have results from an exclusive Deseret News KSL poll looking at what Utah voters find to be most important here. Keith McCord joined us. And Keith, any surprises in this?
All this gets really blurry with all the candidates speaking. Nothing major here, Mike, but a couple of issues stand out. Here are the top 3 issues that voters want their presidential candidates to seriously deal with. Number 1, the economy. 56% of Utahns say they'll support a candidate who takes a strong stand on that. Now, what's a bit surprising here is that Utah's economy is one of the strongest in the nation, but voters are still concerned about how the country is doing compared to the rest of the world. 34% of the voters view national security as the issue most important to them. 27% said health care is a concern. That's a bit vague, as we don't know if that means people are concerned about the future of the Affordable Care Act or want a complete overhaul. After that comes immigration. 22% of those surveyed want a candidate to work on that. 21% say the national budget is a problem. And far down the list of issues that Utah voters find important, mild surprise here, 9% feel guns are an issue that candidates need to deal with, and 9% say the Supreme Court vacancy is a big deal. This poll of 500 voters statewide was conducted between March 8th and the 15th. So a lot of issues that people are thinking about and want their candidate, that's how they'll base their vote on.
Yeah, very accurate. I mean, that's happening right now. These are polls from weeks and weeks ago.
No, this is current, just out.
All right, Keith, thanks very much. Very insightful. All right, stay with KSL tonight. A busy political night in Utah as we will have continuing coverage of all of these campaign rallies going on throughout the state. Still ahead.